Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of my Trove news series. Now today we have a lot to talk about, and I'm kind of torn today. So today I really want your guys' response and your guys' input and your guys' opinions on what we're going to discuss today, because I'm like half and half. I don't know how I feel about what they discussed on the live stream today. So the first thing that they announced was the new loot collector is going to be coming out. I think all of this comes out in 2 weeks, since next week isn't a patch, since they do their bi-weekly patches now instead of every week. So everything comes out not this Tuesday but next Tuesday, and it's the new loot collector. And with this new loot collector, it's going to auto select anything that can be collected in your inventory. So you open up the UI, you click on the loot collector, it's going to be the same loot collector, so it's not going to be like back in alpha when they switched it from the deconstructor to the style saver and then the style saver to the loot collector. It's nothing like that. We're going to keep our loot collectors, but there's going to be a new UI where it has all of the things in your inventory, just everything. If you have 150 spaces and all 150 spaces are full of things that can be deconstructed, it's going to have 150 items in that inventory, or that little UI on the left there that you can see. And it's going to auto select everything that can be collected except for a few things. It'll auto deselect anything that's non-equipment, so like patron passes, class coins, stuff like that, and also anything that is stellar quality, so stellar gems and stellar gear. It will also show you in the bottom right, if you click on something, if you left click on it, it'll show you what you're going to get before you actually deconstruct it. I like that feature. That's actually pretty awesome, how it shows you what you're going to get before you deconstruct it, because you can see, like, you know, if you saw class coins in there and you're like, wait, what does class coins even give you? And you don't want to deconstruct your class coin to see, you know, what it's going to get. Now it'll actually show you before you deconstruct it. That should have been added a long time ago. That thing is very convenient, and it saves a lot of, you know, hassle. Also, anything that is manually locked will stay. So the way you lock things is you just right click them. So if you do have like radiant gear that you don't want to deconstruct, since it auto selects everything that isn't stellar, you can right click it and it'll lock it. And anything that is manually locked will stay locked as long as you keep it in your inventory. So if you have like radiant gear and you're not fully stellared out yet, because, you know, not everyone has full stellars, which I thought they would think of, you know, you can right click that item if you have it in your inventory and it'll stay locked. If you switch it to your stash space though, and then you bring it back into your inventory, it will unlock. So you gotta make sure. This is why I'm really half and half on this, because it seems very, very, very inconvenient. If you put a radiant item into your inventory, you lock it, you put it back into your stash, and then you bring it back out into your inventory, and you open up the deconstructor, you make sure that you relock it, because it will auto deconstruct it if you don't do that. It also doesn't have a cap, so there used to be a 24 item cap on the loot collector. Now it is maxed out, so 150, because that's as many items as you can fit in your inventory. It has no cap, just the cap of how much space you have in your inventory. It also has a 24-hour buyback in case you do accidentally deconstruct something that you need. So if you do, you know, do that mistake where you lock a radiant, put it back into your stash, and then put it back into your inventory, and it unlocks, and then you accidentally click collect all, you can actually use a new buyback feature. You can do this with any item that you ever deconstruct for the past 24 hours. So you can always buy it back. You can't abuse it though for something like styles. Like if you unlock a style and then you try to buy back the item, it won't keep the style, you'll lose the style, and also it costs the materials that it gave you as well. So if you deconstruct, say, a radiant item, and then you spend the radiant soul and the flux that you got out of it, you can't buy it back because it actually costs. It's like buying it back from the merchant. You're basically giving the merchant your wares, and then you have to buy it back from the merchant, except for it's a little box that you click on. So it will cost, if it gives you 1 radiant soul and 1,000 flux, it will cost that exact amount when you want to buy it back if you do accidentally deconstruct it. So once again, they're thinking about the people that are going to try to abuse it, so that's awesome. Now, in my opinion, I think that the lock system is extremely annoying and very inefficient. Like, I don't know why they went that route. It might be the most logical thing to do in a game like Trove, but it just seems very, very, very inconvenient for people that don't have like max stellars, or people that, you know, want to lock radiant gems because they can't unlock stellar gems yet. You know, they're not in U9. Like, I feel like it just straight up is mainly for the end game players, and any newer player is going to have a much harder time, because if you open up, say, 150 boxes, you know, you have all 150 spaces in your inventory. Again, it's on PTS, so I don't know 100% like if my issues are an actuality or if it's just in my head right now, but I think like if you're not in U9 yet and you open up 150 boxes of gems, it's going to be very annoying to have to go and right click every single gem that you want to keep, because none of them are going to be stellar that automatically lock. You know, you have to manually lock every single one, and then if you have, radiant items that you want to keep in your inventory for fast switching. Like if you're playing the Boom Ranger, you're gonna have to manually lock those, and then you have to make sure that you always remember that if you put it somewhere else and then you bring it back into your inventory, you're gonna have to relock it every single time. And then there is a buyback feature, but if you quickly deconstruct all your items and you don't notice it, it's only 24 hours, so you're going to lose that item if you don't actually remember to buy it back. So I don't know, I'm really half and half on it. I don't know my 100% thoughts on it until it goes live. I know it's on PTS, so maybe people that play PTS can offer a better insight on that in the comments. But yeah, it just seems more annoying than anything, the whole lock system, if you're not an endgame player that only cares about stellar gems, stellar equipment and stuff like that. Like me, I personally, it's going to be very good for me because I deconstruct radiants on the fly. Radiants aren't worth anything to me. They're worth the radiant soul that it gives me. They're like 16k flux to me. That's it. Radiants don't mean anything. So for me, it's an easy just click collect all, no matter what. I'm never going to keep a radiant gem. I'm never going to keep a radiant piece of equipment. I'm not going to keep anything below stellar. So for me, it's very convenient, but I want to know the opinions of lower level people because that's who I feel like it's going to be very annoying for. And once again, this is coming out not next week because there's no patch next week, but the week after that. The next thing coming out that week is also the Vault Worlds. So these are the storage clubs. These are the official storage clubs that Trion are creating. They are created solely for the purpose of extra stash space, but they are a fully functional club. You just can't add any biomes, and the purpose of these is just save space on their servers. They don't want an entire club world being built for storage space because that uses a lot of resources on their end for their servers, which creates a lot of the lag in the game. So they created these for the sole purpose of being very light for their servers and just the sole purpose of having extra stash space. Now, I have seen people complaining that it takes a club slot, but I find that extremely an invalid complaint because storage, these aren't mandatory. These aren't something they're giving to you for free. These are in place of already existing storage clubs. If you already own a storage club, this is who it's for. It's not for, if you don't own a storage club already, then this isn't for you, if that makes sense. They're not trying to make it a mandatory extra stash. It's still going to cost to make it, I believe. I don't know if you only get one. They might be on PTS or something. I don't know the whole rundown of them because they didn't explain any of that. But in my eyes, its sole purpose is to just replace the already existing storage clubs. If you don't own a storage club, then you shouldn't worry about the Vault Worlds. So I know I've seen a lot of complaints over there for that specific complaint, and I just don't see it valid. Maybe you guys have a better understanding of these complaints. Maybe you are a person that thinks that you should own a storage club or a Vault World, whatever they're going to call them. And I want to know your reasoning why you think that way, because that's the reason we have these videos, for discussion, so we can get everyone's opinions. You cannot also, to get back on track, you cannot transfer an already existing storage club that you own on live right now to this new Vault Club style. You will have to take all your items out of your already existing club world. You will have to put them into your stash space. You will have to delete your club world, so you'll have to leave it, and then you'll have to create this new Vault World and throw your items back into that one. So that seems a little bit of an inconvenience, but again, this is the first time they're doing it, so it's going to be that one-time inconvenient thing. It's like moving houses, you gotta take everything out, move it over, and then you're set after that. So that's kind of how it is, in my opinion. That's how it seems like they're gonna do it. And that's pretty much it. You will have to manually switch everything over, like I said, and they're coming out pretty soon. So again, leave me your guys' feedback down below on how you think about these things. I have some club space. I think I might as well use one. I don't know what I'll use it for, but I think I might as well just pick one up just because. And yeah, so the next thing and the last thing that they talked about is the new animal themed helmets. And these are going to be full head helmets, meaning you don't have to wear a face for these. I like these type of helmets because I hate finding both a hat and a face. So they're actual helmets, not hats, but they do take up your hat style, obviously, like the already existing costume helmets. So these are all animal themed, and they come from the Omni style unlockers. And they have otters, they have tigers, which is my personal favorite animal. So I might rock the tiger a little bit. I don't know what it'll go with, but it might look ugly in game too. I don't know, but I just like tigers. So they got the tigers, they got penguin, I think, or maybe somebody was suggesting penguins. There's only 12 or something out of the hundreds to thousands of animals in the world, so they might be adding more and more over time, and these do come from the Omni Styles unlockers, and I think that's the only place they come from, so it'll give some use for those things because they're pretty useless right now. And that's pretty much it. Again, I just want to know your guys' feedback on this one. I couldn't really offer too many opinions on this one because I don't really know how I feel about it. The whole loot collector seems a little bit annoying for a newer player, but better for an endgame player, which I don't really like. It should be universally if it's like, I don't know, maybe they should do it like a power rank system. Like if you're below 2.5k, it'll keep shadows, or it'll automatically lock shadows, and then if you're from like 5k to 10k, it'll automatically lock radiance, and then 10k, it'll just unlock stellars or lock stellars. Like I feel like they should have some type of system to make it more consistent, because consistency is always a good thing in video games. It makes it feel more natural. And then the vault worlds, I feel like they're a good thing. It doesn't take away anything and it doesn't add anything. I feel like people are going a little overboard thinking that it's adding something to the game. It's not adding anything to the game. It's literally just to save their servers from exploding from all the clubs in the world. So that's like its only purpose. It's not anything else. It's literally to just replace the already existing storage clubs that people already have. So I think those are a good thing. I can like give my concrete opinion on that. And then the new animal helmets, those are cool. Hopefully they come out with more, because I'm pretty sure, like, I like dogs and they don't have a dog one, but they have a cat one. So like, they're being a little racist there, but or animalist, speciesist, whatever you want to call it. But that's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like, and I'll see you guys next time.